The blueberries and raspberries that I currently have are massive. I don't know if you can tell. It's, I think, maybe hard to tell on video, but this blueberry is ginormous. And they're pretty much all like that. And these raspberries are really big too. I bought these two rice bowls from T&T to try, and I've been intrigued about this one. I've actually looked at it several times, but I decided to buy two different ones so we could try two different flavors. They call this a bibimbap, and this one is like a mapo tofu. I've already taken this one out. I'm about to prepare it. This one's going to be for hubby. When you take it out of the packaging, it comes with the sauce packet as well as this little bowl of rice. It's just cooked rice. You take off this lid, add the sauce to the top, put the lid back on with the dome part facing up, and then we just microwave it. So super simple. Don't know what I was expecting, but that makes a lot of sense because I think we're only microwaving it for like 1 to 2 minutes. Here's what the bowls look like before I heat them up, along with the photos on the boxes. This one's pretty similar. This one hasn't been mixed up yet, but the color is very different on this one. Hubby and I are gonna have lunch together before he heads off to work. This is what we're having. The rice bowls that I showed you earlier, I have gone ahead and mixed mine. Hubby's looks like this. They actually smell pretty good. We also have some leftover roast chicken. This is just a barbecue chicken that I picked up at Loblaws yesterday. And finally, I made some watercress soup. Hey everyone, hubby is at work now. It is holiday Monday, and today feels like a really good day to have snackies for dinner. I'm not really feeling like having a full meal, so I'm going to have a few nibbles that I got from T&T. First thing I want to show you is this. These are really good. Last time I went to T&T, I bought the green tea ones, and those were delicious. So very good. They tasted like green tea Kit Kat, just a really nice green tea flavor. So I'll definitely get those again. But when I was looking at the wafers, these caught my eye. They are the cheese flavor, and on the side it says crispy wafer cubes with cream cheese filling. So I thought they would kind of be like a sweet cream cheese frosting type of flavor, but they're not too sweet, and they do taste cheesy, but they taste like those cheese Ritz crackers. I bought another one of these loaves. These are the chocolate egg yolk lava bread. The other thing I bought, which we've dug into already, are these coconut biscuits. I might have a few more as my snacky dessert after my snacky dinner. I'm about to hop onto a writing session, but before I do that, I'm gonna have a little sweet bread and decaf latte break. This is an orange cream cheese bun that I got at T&T today. This is half of it. I've just cut it in half so hubby can have the other half when he gets home. And this is what it looks like inside. It's literally just bread with a bunch of orange cream cheese in the middle. Let's go have dinner. Good girl. Be careful, Lulu. Okay, stay there, okay?
sleeping nice on the doors and now you got up. 'Cause you know I'm filming you. Everything's your bed. Do you think everything's your bed, Lulu?
She's shuffling her front paws.
Okay, you're a good girl. I look at you instead, then she doesn't know that I'm recording her. She looking at you or me? She's looking back and forth. What's she doing now?
I realized I didn't talk through any of the cabinet project that hubby and I are doing. So I'm here on my balcony and I'm going to walk you through what we've been doing. We've actually settled into a really nice groove where hubby will take down and put back the cabinet doors, and I basically do everything else, which is totally fine because I'm home during the day and the process goes pretty quickly because I just do a little bit and then I wait and then I do a little bit more and a little bit more and so on and so forth, and it eventually gets done. So hubby has taken down the 2 doors that were above the microwave, and I'm going to take an extra step with these doors because they've got a little bit of grease on them from being above our range hood. A little bit of buildup. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but here you can see some shininess. That's all like grease. For these 2 particular cupboard doors, I am going to be using a degreaser, and we chose the original Krud Kutter. I'm feeling pretty good about how the doors are looking now. I am going to be sanding, so I think I will just leave this as is, flip it over, take off these little feet, and I actually don't think this side needs it, but I am going to apply the Krud Kutter anyway and just give it a brief wipe. The doors are prepped. The cloth has some grime on it. Just gonna let these air out for a bit and completely dry, and then I'll be back to do some sanding. Hi everyone, it is the next day and I'm about to sand and prime the cupboard doors. These were the ones that I degreased yesterday and they're actually feeling really good, very clean. So I may use the degreaser, well, we only have 2 more doors after this, so I'll use the degreaser on that instead of wiping it down with the salsets. So the next step is going to be sanding, and I am using this 120 grit paper, which is like a coarse grit, to basically take off the first layer of varnish and just rough up the surface so it's ready to have the primer like stick to it. I cut each of these big pieces of sandpaper into 4 little rectangles, and I'll just be using this to sand. And I change these like every few doors. I think I can do 3 doors and some trims with one of these sheets or one of these little rectangles. I definitely don't over sand. As you'll be able to see, I just do like a really light sanding, really just to scuff up the surface. It's really important to wear a mask when you do this. This is just like a little mask that I wouldn't wear in public because it's very small, it barely covers my mouth. But I got these in Japan way back when. They're for kids and I didn't realize they would be so small. And I've also learned that it's important to have a pair of glasses because I did get some like debris into my eyes and it doesn't feel good. I'm all done with the sanding and now I'm just gonna wipe off the dust with a clean rag. It is time for the best part, priming and painting. I love doing this, especially the doors. It's so much fun and it goes really quickly as well. I have been using these trays, which I showed in my last video, and in between painting, I just put them in this plastic bag so that the paint doesn't dry out. A 4-inch foam roller is awesome. It is just like the perfect size for painting your kitchen cabinets. It's very quick and easy, so I'll just show you maybe on this door and then I'll do that one off camera. I usually put the tray on the ground, but for the purpose of this clip, I'm just gonna leave it on that board there. I always prime and paint the back of the door first, and then I turn it over and I paint the front once it's completely dry. For primer, I do 1 coat on the back and 2 coats on the front. I've just dipped the foam roller into the primer and taken off some of the excess, but there's still a lot on here, which is fine because I'm going to be spreading it out. This is basically all I do for the first layer of primer, and this works out perfectly fine. The primer layer isn't supposed to be perfect anyway, and you can definitely still see through some of it, but the paint will cover that right up. Hi everyone, it is the next day and I am all done priming both sides of these kitchen doors. So this is the back side, 1 coat of primer, and this is the front with 2 coats of primer. I do sand in between each coat of paint and primer, and I use the 220 grit, which is a finer grit. I just make sure there are no bumps, and I scratch up the surface a little bit so that the primer and paint can adhere better. Again, I've cut the sandpaper into 4 of these little rectangles. I'll be using both of these. This one is pretty much done after this round, and then I think I can use this for both sides. I am sanding very, very lightly. I'm all done with this first layer of paint, and I'm going to let it dry for about 4 hours. The paint does take a bit more time to dry in between coats. Primer is pretty quick, like 1 to 2 hours, and I can already put on the second coat. This is going to take a bit more time, around 4 hours, so I'm going to go out for my walk, do a bunch of stuff, and then I will do a second coat, wait another 4 hours, and then turn them over. I probably won't turn them over until tomorrow, realistically speaking, because I've got other things sandwiched throughout the day, which is kind of why it's taking so long to get this project done, but we're in the home stretch. I am in between time blocks right now. It is Tuesday, and I thought I would film a quick update on our kitchen cabinets. I think we might be almost done, a day or 2 away from completion. I'm very, very excited about that. The kitchen is looking really good. Hubby has put back those 2 doors that I was working on that I had showed in some clips, the smaller doors that go above the microwave. I've done all of the trim. Now I'm just painting the last 2 doors. This painting project has gone by really quickly, even though it took us a full month. Because I did a little bit a day, it seemed to go by fast, and it didn't feel like a lot of work. I know our cabinet doors are like very easy because they're flat. They don't have any like grooves or beveling or anything like that in them. So they were super easy to paint. I think priming and painting the doors was my favorite part. The parts that I didn't like, that felt like drudgery, were taping the trim. That just took so much time and concentration. It was definitely worth the time and effort to tape, but I just didn't enjoy it. But I really loved peeling the tape. I was okay about the sanding. I was okay about painting the trim. I prefer painting the doors because it's just so quick and easy, and I really love using that foam roller. Using the brush wasn't as much fun. It took a bit more care to use the paintbrush, and it wasn't as beautiful as using the foam roller. Hubby was really good at taking the doors down and putting them back. He only had like one little annoyance, and that's with the doors that have the hinges that wrap around. Those were really tricky, and I could sense him getting frustrated when he was putting those doors back, but thankfully we only have 2 of those doors. There might be a little bit of touching up here and there that I want to do at the end, but it's really not a big deal.
We did it.
It is Friday, just a day or 2 after the full moon, and we are done our kitchen! We still have all the stuff here because we're now doing the cabinet in the bathroom, and I'm gonna try to paint the over the toilet cabinet as well. The kitchen looks really nice. It is a big change, but I'm pretty happy with it. And also I wanted to mention that this cake is delicious. Green tea pastry cake from T&T. It's got like a really soft sponge cake inside that tastes like green tea, and then on the outside there's this like, I don't know, pastry shell, almost like a beef Wellington outside, but with cake on the inside. So good. I'm gonna have a slice as part of my first meal. I thought I would pop on briefly before I end this vlog. I still can't believe we're done the kitchen. It feels really good, and I feel like it's a lot brighter, even on camera. So in person, of course, it is a lot brighter because we had dark cabinets before and now they are like a total 180, but you can see there's a lot of light coming from this section here because the kitchen light is bouncing off the cabinets and coming towards me. So that's a nice change. Although I have to say, it's a change that I've gotten used to very quickly. Like I'm not surprised every time I walk by the kitchen. I'm not like, oh my goodness, where am I? There's none of that. It feels like a very natural change, even though we went from very dark cabinets to very light cabinets. And I also have to say that I still was very much into our dark cabinets. I haven't really had a time where I regretted getting those or anything like that. I've always really liked them. It's just that the wear and tear got to be a bit too much. So I thought about, what change could I make? And I'm really happy with the change, but I wasn't unhappy before making the change. I wanted to roll right into doing the bathroom painting because I didn't want to lose momentum. And I also don't want to clean out all of the painting containers only to have to use them again. So I thought we might as well take advantage of this roll that we're on and start in the bathroom. It's not going to take nearly as long. It took a month to do the kitchen, and I think the bathroom will only take maybe like a week and a half. Although that unit above the toilet, that's going to be a pain to do. I don't even know how I'm going to do that unit yet. I haven't figured out a plan because we don't plan to take it apart. So I think I'm just going to paint it as is. We'll take it out of the bathroom, but I don't think we're going to disassemble it because it was a pain to put together. I actually contemplated buying a new unit instead of painting the existing one. But when I looked online, there weren't a lot of highly reviewed options out there. A lot of the reviews said that they were either really difficult to put together or that the units felt really cheap. And I definitely remember some struggles as we put together this unit. So I'm not really wanting to go through that again, although if painting it gets to be a real hassle and it's not working out, we probably will just let go of that unit and buy a new one. But I do want to try painting it first. We'll see if that ends up being a good decision or not, but I'm really, really happy we're done the kitchen. I'm very happy with the way it looks. I'm very relieved that we're done and that there were no huge mishaps. And I am sick of painting, but I can see us changing it up again maybe in another 10 to 15 years if the paint job lasts that long. The other thing I wanted to mention that I don't think I talked about when I was talking about what I love to do in terms of like the different tasks that were associated with this project. So I loved using the foam roller, as you know. That involved priming and painting, in particular the cabinet doors, but the foam roller was just a pleasure to use. I also really loved peeling off the tape. And the third thing I really loved is putting on those little buttons. That was highly enjoyable. It's just like sticking on a sticker, but that was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed that, even though it took only like 1 second. That is it for my 2 vlogs on painting our kitchen cabinets. It feels like we have a new kitchen, and just in time for the Eat at Home challenge, which I'm going to be embarking on in November. I am going to be away for a few days in November. I have a retreat, a team retreat with the writing studio, but we're pretty much like cooking everything at the retreat. So it is an in-person retreat, and I think we're all going to get tested using rapid tests before we go. So I know those aren't foolproof, not 100%, but at least it gives us a little bit more of like a safety measure or some peace of mind. We'll see how that goes and whether that is disruptive to my routine and to my planned Eat at Home challenge. But the plan is to do the Eat at Home challenge in in November, even though I will be away for a few days. I'll be eating at home in a different home. I don't plan to eat like any takeout food or anything like that. I don't think we're getting takeout anyway. So that is going to be it for this vlog. I hope you're all doing great. Halloween is coming up, so I'm gonna wish you an early happy Halloween. I will see you in the next vlog. Bye.